Mithen's got it! Unbelievable!
New year, new name. We are back for Lil and Ben 2021. My name is Ben Gibson, joined by my co-host Lily Mithen. Couldn't keep us away, Lil.
I'm excited to be here, Ben. You self-proclaimed yourself as the number one co-host last night at the season launch. I'm a little bit disappointed in you, to be honest, but nonetheless very excited to be here once again.
That is true. But the fans, the ratings speak for themselves, so they had to keep this combination together. We're going to talk about the name Lil and Ben a little later on and how that came about. But first, we do have a special guest with us. She's a little bit nervous, I think.
No, not nervous. Do I wave to anyone? Or is it?
You can wave if you like.
Yeah, wait, it is a podcast.
Her name's Eliza Mcnamara, one of our draftees, the most talkative draftee that we have, so that's why she got the call up. We're hoping for some entertainment. There are a lot of inspirational AFLW podcasts out there. This probably isn't one of them. We're just
I wouldn't have thought. Nah.
No.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But you're probably not going to learn much.
On my run sheet here, I've got for the first 8 minutes talk dribble. So that's what we're going to do. If we have fun, hopefully the listeners have fun and make it through to the end. There's going to be plenty happening in this podcast. We're going to drop a keyword at some stage, and if the listeners can get the keyword for every podcast for the year, they can win a team-signed Melbourne jumper. So that's exciting. There's going to be a little secret sound, all sorts of segments coming up. But first I want to talk about that season launch. You got a ring last night. Is that a special moment?
Yeah, it was a lovely moment to get a ring with everyone there.
Tell us about the ring. What number did you get?
58, I think. Yeah, 58 or 56.
It was 58.
58, yeah, I thought so.
Are you happy with that number?
Very happy with the number, but not happy with the sizing.
Oh,
because
wrong.
I put it, all my fingers like dislocate except my pinkies. So I thought put it on the pinky, but it's too big for my pinky. So last night when I got home, tried to get some bread out of the freezer and I lost my ring in the bread bag.
Oh, no.
But I did find it.
Well, that is good. But
yeah.
Funny that you mention your pinkies. You run with your pinkies quite pronounced. So just like it's quite off topic, but as we said,
I've noticed that in the photos.
We're talking dribble.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your running technique and how you... was that the secret to winning the 2K time trial? Was it your pinky and the techniques that they...
7 minute unbelievable run.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Lil, for noticing my pinkies. And I've noticed actually Lil's trying to implement the pinky into her running regime now.
Well, what was your 2K time trial time?
Don't know. It was never official. It just finished.
Under 7 minutes, I
Under
believe.
7 minutes. So if someone runs under 7 minutes, you would think you would take a leaf out of the book and try and put it into
Next time
practice?
I go for a run, I'd probably stick out the pinky.
Yeah, stick out your pinkies.
I haven't been around for a few years.
It might work. Yeah. I might stick out my tongue where I'm at it too, because that is a common feature of yours.
Thanks,
You
Lil.
did dislocate a finger in a practice match, didn't you?
Yeah, they kind of just pop in and out. Like, Daisy's pretty good at just pulling them back out again, so it's quite a quick fix, which is good.
Does it hurt?
No, they don't bruise after either. So it's all just part of the game, I guess.
Right.
You're just trying to join in. There's a few midfielders that tape our fingers. I've got a finger guard at the moment. Casey Sheriff, Shelley Heath. So Elijah's just rocked up and gone, well, that's what the other midfielders do, so I'll do it too.
Where do I get myself a finger guard?
Trying to fit in.
You go see, funnily enough, Ben at Action
Dorothy.
Rehab, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Give him a plug.
he's a good
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, good guy.
Cool.
Now, last night at the AFLW season launch, I stitched a few people up throughout the night. So the jump presentation, I had to give a little description about each player. Some weren't happy. I think Lauren Pearce, do you think she copped it the worst?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely copped it worse. Yeah, you got into her for fake eyelashes,
And
not training. Which
Oh.
pretty accurate, but
Yeah, she doesn't train. I've never seen her on the track.
Oh, yeah, no, she doesn't.
have you actually met her? So,
Yeah,
so she's
no.
our ruck. I know
she-
you've only just been training for the last,
She did have
couple of
lovely
months, but she's a
eyelashes.
ruck.
Yeah.
She comes every now and again.
Yeah, lovely.
She was a former All-Australian, so she's pretty good. So when you meet her, when she
sure
actually
she'll be
decided to
great.
come to training.
So she's got fake eyelashes, and I think the story goes that she trimmed them to make them look better. But I don't know why you'd get eyelash extensions only to cut them.
Well, I was spoken to about this. When she went to get her eyelashes done, she said, "Oh, just want something pretty natural." To the beauty technician, she said, "Nothing too much." Anyway, so she got gets the ones that were put on, and then the lady went to put more on, and Loz is like, what is this sort of like mask costume thing that you put on my face? And it was still too much, and so she had to cut them. But the lady, funnily enough, wanted to put more lashes on, so...
Did Loz cut them herself? Or the
Yeah,
lady?
so when she got home, she was like, too much, and trimmed them a little.
Very nice.
Have you done that?
No, I've never done that.
No, have you
got fake eyelashes?
No, I don't. Just really long.
yourself?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll put it on the to-do list. Meg Downey also, some people thought went a bit harsh on her just about the question asking. She does ask a lot of questions. It wasn't a jab, it was more of an observation. She's one of our favourites, Meg Downey.
It's just a fact.
It is a fact.
I don't know why she would be offended by that. Everyone knows that if there's ever a team meeting and someone says, is there any questions, Meg's hand will shoot up as quick as possible can be, and she'll have a question.
No, it is true.
Do you think she does it just to get some recognition, or does she do it because she...
No, you need clarity in life sometimes.
Yeah. Are you clear on where you're going?
Not in the near future, no.
That's right, you've got time to get there.
Inspirational stuff from our 18-year-old. People thought I went a little bit light on Daisy. I didn't want to go too hard on the captain. That's probably a relationship I want to keep quite strong at the moment. The two that I struggled most with were Casey Sheriff and Chantal Emonson. Do you know anything about those girls? They're
Well,
I don't want to...
Caitlin did say, your
Media manager.
media manager, your work colleague, she did say to me that you wanted to get up there and when introducing Shani, say, yeah, Chantal, she's been here a while, but I know nothing about her. And Caitlin said, Ben, absolutely not. Can you say that? That would be...
Well, it was kind of accurate. I ended up being on the phone at 8 a.m. that morning to Livy Birch trying to get something about Chantal Emerson. All she gave me that she's good at Uno. So it wasn't very exciting. We'll get Chantal on this podcast at some point and we're going to crack her open.
We love Shani. Shani's the sweetest soul. She
seems
great.
lovely. She just doesn't give me much.
She walks with a lot of pace and intent. Yeah, when she comes into the club and sometimes
she
she's got
does,
a bag
actually.
of rice crackers. I could have told you that in preparation
Okay,
for last
well,
night.
next time I'll come to you for the scoops. I've got another person that I want to get on this podcast in future weeks, and it is David Regan.
Shafeed. He likes to be called.
What is it?
Shafeed.
Shafeed.
What's that?
Shithead mushed together and you get Shafeed. Haven't you ever heard that before?
No.
No.
Wow.
I still don't even know he's
Quite
saying.
old.
Can you just go back over that?
Shafeed. Like when you mix shit head together and you get Shafeed.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what Regan
We'll leave
says
that
like
in.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I think. I like it. We might ask him about that.
Reegs, though, he's a character.
He's unbelievable.
If we get him on here, we're going to have to be pretty quick to blurt things out.
Okay.
And
we'll have the dump button ready to
I
go.
don't think it should be live. Not
No.
that this is live, but
No, we
it
couldn't.
definitely shouldn't be live.
All right. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I mentioned in last night's speech that Eliza Mcnamara makes coffees at the MCG. So I did. It's probably bad luck, really, that I was working day 2 of the Boxing Day test with a camera in hand and I stumbled across you
did.
with your mask down making coffees.
I'd actually been told off after you came by
Right.
some MCG official. But it was just very hot that day,
It
I
was.
think.
Was that the day that there was an outbreak at the MCG?
It was.
Day
It
two
was.
at
Day
the
two.
Boxing Day
It
test.
Lost that day. But
Were you on that
not
side
my
of it?
section.
Oh, no,
No.
my section.
No.
Right.
So how long have you been working at the G for?
Oh, probably this is my 5th year, I reckon. Yeah, it's just good little side money. Always has been.
5 years. Were you of legal age or is it
16.
Started when you were 13.
Wait. Oh, hold on.
He's
Wait.
been getting cashies on the
4
side from
years.
the G.
4 years, yeah.
The next thing I wanted to talk about was last week I posted some photos from the gym. My mum actually called me last night and she's like, oh, Lily commented on that photo. And she said, you're joking. And I was like, oh, I wonder why she commented that. Like, I thought it was a good photo. You're in action, like lifting some heavy stuff. Did you have an issue with that?
Strong girl, Lil.
Well, no, it wasn't a great photo. First, I was upright and just looking like I was tensing at nothing. So, yeah, like I had a fair few messages back being like, are you okay? Did you get it out okay? Was there any issues with your bowels after that sort of commentary? So if you look at it again, I'm sure you'll understand why those comments were kind of made. Yeah, it wasn't a photo I was going to repost, that's for sure.
Apologies
It was a
for
good
that.
angle though, through
Yeah.
Ben, through the little gym equipment.
Yeah, bit of artisticness in that.
Good framing.
I do have a video that I was going to plan on posting this afternoon. I might need to get you to tick it off. You did tense straight to the camera. I've got that in slow-mo.
Oh, slow-mo.
I'll run that by you.
No, just post it.
Okay, I won't run it by you then. Now, you've just shown me a little bit of photoshopping skills. We might actually be able to get that up, or you might want to keep it a secret, but can you talk us through the story behind it?
Yeah, well, my photo shopping journey started probably a few years back, actually. I used to get a segment, you would know this actually, in the team meetings.
Yeah.
And it would be team meeting, like just a normal, we'd talk about, I don't know, how we're going to play and how we're going to move the ball and how we're going to defend. But Mick would always give me a 60-second window to show my best Photoshop of the week. And I think I was 18, I was doing nothing other than playing footy, so I'll just get really bored in Photoshop. But I've put a little logo together and I'm going to create some merch for Mixtinia. He hasn't seen it yet, he doesn't know about it yet, but he's got to love it. And it is going to clearly highlight who his favourite players are. So stay tuned for more on the Photoshop.
Could fly off the shelves if you stick that in.
Yeah, it might
the
actually
shop.
go global. Yep, it's a pretty good logo.
A lot of people know Mixtinia, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble selling it.
Oh, no, yeah, he'll send it far and wide.
Now, we've got to talk a little bit about footy. The rumour is there's going to be a fixture change. We were going to have a Zoom call at 12 o'clock today to find out, and then we're going to have one at 3 o'clock, then 3:30. Now it's tomorrow. We're not exactly sure where we're going to play round one, but do you just, I guess, have to be ready for anything?
Yeah, I think so. We're ready to play, so I guess it doesn't necessarily matter who we're going to play against. Probably would be nice to know who we're lining up against and to prepare potentially what day we're going to play on so we can organise our week around that. But, yeah, I guess that's sort of the nature of the year at the moment and we'll take it as it comes. But you can't get too stressed because it's definitely not in our control and we'll just control what we can.
We got a good little practice match win over Geelong. Your first official AFLW game. You enjoying playing on the big stage with your new teammates?
Yeah, no, all the new teammates are very good. The first quarter was very overwhelming. Didn't really know I did know what was going on, but I didn't know what was going on. And then after that, after you get hit a couple of times, it's easier to start playing, which is good. But yeah, it's good. Having Lil in the mid, talkative gal. So it's good.
Yeah, we connect quite well.
Oh,
yeah, on and off the field. Yeah, we're friends.
Got nothing in common. Who's your favourite draftee, barring the one
Well,
to my
actually,
left?
Lil's made it quite competitive. She lets me know Maggie Karras is one of her other favourites.
Right.
And sometimes she tells me.
My fellow midfielders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fitzy.
And Fitz, yeah.
Fitzy?
Yeah. So there's a bit of a leaderboard.
Okay. Can you run us through it?
Oh, it just changes sort of depending on a moment.
Right.
It's quite sporadic. At the moment, because I'm sitting with Liza and we're doing a podcast and we're laughing together, she's probably on top of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, cool.
But no, I like the draftees. They're pretty good.
I'm a Alyssa Bannon fan.
Yeah.
I think
Fair enough.
she's very quick for a tall forward. She's going to be exciting to watch. All right, we are going to do one little segment before we take a break. It's called Lil's Secret Sound.
And it is a very secret sound, and you are not going to know what it is.
Oh, do I have to guess it?
You're going to have to guess
Okay,
it.
cool.
If you can't get it, which I don't think she will, then we're going to
She's pretty clever.
we're going to throw it out to the fans. They can send us a message if they know what it is, and you can actually win a $100 Sporting Globe voucher. Sporting Globe hosted us last night for the season launch. You can win that right now.
Oh,
So,
all right, let's go.
can you tell us what this sound is? That's all you get. Give us a guess. You're unlucky because you're on for the first week and there are no hints. Going forward, there will be hints.
Can I just tell the listeners that as you played that out of your iPhone, Liz put her ear to her microphone to try and listen a bit more clearly. But a microphone actually records your sound.
Yes, yeah.
It actually doesn't project any sound.
That's
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you want one more play?
Yeah, one more.
All right, just
It's not coming out of the microphone, this sound.
Yeah, okay, cool. Is it a film camera?
it is not.
Not.
Oh.
No. It is not the snap of a film camera.
Film camera.
It was a good guess. Thinking outside the square. Now, that prize doesn't really jackpot because it's going to stay a $100 Sporting Globe voucher, but it is open for the fans to win. So if anyone knows what that sound is, they can get in contact with us and win that prize. Otherwise, whoever's on next week, maybe Reegs. He could have a guess. He'd like a $100 Sporting Globe voucher. We're going to take a short break here. After this break, we've got an exciting little interview teed up. Linda Griffin, the head of brand marketing and corporate affairs at Zurich Life Insurance, is going to join us. We have a campaign about to be launched, so stay tuned for that.
It's the 2020 AFLW semi-final. There's 1 minute to go. The D's are down by 3 points. Snap to inside 50. Oh no, it's a mongrel kick. Mithen marks! 2021 is all about kicking goals. Thanks to Zurich Insurance and Tackle Your Feelings mental health training program, every goal kicked can give your club a chance to win a junior footy prize pack. So all you need to do is tell us why your local footy club should win.
Welcome back to Lil and Ben. We touched on having a very exciting guest. That is Head of Brand Marketing and Corporate Affairs at Zurich Life Insurance, Linda Griffin. We're talking to her about a new campaign called Goals for Good. It was Mixed in Ear's idea to combine performance with the community. And he's saying we're going to put a responsibility on growing the game in the broader community by kicking goals. Linda, it's a pretty exciting opportunity. Why did you want to get involved?
Thanks, Ben, and hi, everyone. Look, we just love the campaign and are pretty thrilled to be involved. It's such an awesome way to incentivise the players in something that's a really meaningful way, because it gives back to lots of local footy clubs all around Australia. Now, I don't want you guys to hold this against me, but, it's a pretty Aussie thing to grow up playing some kind of sport. And as a Queenslander, number one, don't hold that against me. And number two, I grew up around a lot of rugby union clubs when I was a kid. So again, no judgment. But, really these clubs were just the lifeblood of the local community. And not only a place where kids got to learn their particular sports, what they were interested in, but they got to hang out with their mates as well. So, we know at Zurich that, a lot of those clubs struggled last year with the halt to community sport because of COVID. And so the Goals for Good campaign is just such a great opportunity for both Zurich and Tackle Your Feelings to support local community clubs and just, let's turn 2021 into a really positive year and really just start the year off on a positive note.
Linda, you did mention Tackle Your Feelings. Can you tell us a little about that and their involvement in the campaign?
Yeah, sure. I've got the polo on. So Tackle Your Feelings is really a mental health training program for both community football clubs and coaches alike. And it's really Zurich's flagship community program, which is run in conjunction with our global foundation, the Z Zurich Foundation in Switzerland, the AFL Players Association and the AFL Coaches Association. So really we put together a really good team to run the program, and really its ultimate objective is just increasing the understanding and awareness of mental health within the Australian community, but ultimately looking to, change behaviours within footy clubs and using AFL, which is obviously just such a great national sport, as the real vehicle to get into those communities. And, something I want to point out, it's a completely, free resource for local community clubs. And, the program has partnered with both local footy leagues as well as regional sports assemblies, just to make sure we're getting the right reach around Australia. And it can deliver a 90-minute face-to-face workshop. So whether that's, with COVID, we've moved on to Zoom where we need to, but also face-to-face in person. God forbid that we could actually all catch up in the same room together. And it's for club coaches and committee members. And something else that's really, important for us is that we've partnered with the Australian Psychological Society. and we ensure that a local psychologist that actually lives in the community also helps deliver the program. So that just enables, community coaches to be able to reach out to that particular psychologist if any help's required post that, or to have a bit of a chat. So, I think that's pretty exciting as well. And we have a number of, really passionate player ambassadors and coach ambassadors as well. And your very own Neville Jetta has been just amazing as one of our ambassadors. So we're pretty excited to sort of work hard to really reduce the stigma surrounding mental health and just, encourage people to have that conversation.
Fantastic. So how this campaign works is each of our AFLW players will nominate a local club, then irrelevant of who kicks a goal. When a goal is kicked, one of those clubs can win a prize pack, including junior footballs, training bibs and ball carriers valued of over $300. Eliza Mcnamara, who's your club?
I nominated East Melbourne Junior Football Club just because they're my local club and I live right opposite them. So I figured that was a good idea. Yeah. And Linda, in terms of other clubs getting involved, say we haven't nominated, some random club, how would they go about getting a prize package or being involved in the campaign?
Yeah, well, you can never have too many footies, can you? It's funny, I'm in New South Wales now, and our local club's called the Glebe Greyhounds. So I have reached out to a friend of mine who's got kids playing in that team to say basically you go on to melbournefc.com.au/goals for good and say in 50 words or less why, your club's story, because we've got an additional 10 footy packs to give away to other clubs as well.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Fantastic. Linda, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate you jumping on. So as she mentioned, jump on melbournefc.com.au/goals for good for your chance to win. Looking forward to getting this campaign underway.
And looking forward to seeing more goals from the Melbourne D's. Bring it on.
Great to hear from Linda. That is an exciting little campaign that we've got there. Lil, it is time to give us Fine of the Week. Have you got a story?
Well, she actually doesn't know it's a fine yet, but it's coming. So as you probably heard, in previous years we do the fine system. Tegan Cunningham runs it. It's a really tight ship. Nothing gets past her. This is yet to come across her desk, but when I tell her, it's 100% a fine. It's a story about Neve McAvoy. Have you heard it yet?
No, I haven't.
So Neve McAvoy obviously in hotel quarantine at the moment, coming out from Ireland. And day one, she opened her door to put her rubbish out in the hallway. And with that, she thought she'd have a little sticky beak, see what was happening around the corridor.
Which you're not allowed to do.
You're not allowed to do. You're stuck in your hotel room.
That's the room.
That's a clear.
That's a big no-no.
So she sort of had a little look around, Anyway, with that, the door closes behind her and she gets locked out of her room, and she's like, oh my God, what do I do now? Like, I'm stuck. I've got no phone, no key. You're not given a key because you're obviously not meant to leave. So she knocks on the lady next door. So she knocks on her door and the lady's like, what are you doing? You're not meant to be out. And she's like, oh no, I'm stuck. I've accidentally locked myself out. She's like, how did you do that? You're not meant to leave. But anyway, so this, I think she was an Aussie woman. She called reception downstairs and said, the girl next to me, I don't know what she's doing, but she's locked out. Anyway, with that, the police come up and Neve was so frightened because they had guns on them, and apparently the cops in Ireland don't have guns. So Neve's like, oh my God, they're coming to get me. They're coming to get me. So she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault. And they're like, were you trying to escape? What were you trying to do? She's like, I wasn't trying to escape. I haven't even been here for 24 hours. Like, it wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. And they're like, if you do this once more, one, it's fine. Next time you do it, you have to get sent back to Ireland. And she's like, oh my God, the government's calling her being like, do you need counselling? Are you okay? And she's like, I was just trying to put my rubbish out a little bit further than my door and see what was happening. I am fine. But yeah, she almost sent the whole hotel into like a mini shutdown because there was a woman on the loose, which was just Macca being a bit of a doofus.
Week one of the podcast, that fine may be hard to top.
Yeah, that's a good vibe.
Yeah, that's a good find. So I don't know what what the penalty is for that. I'd say it's at least a 10 or 15er because that's pretty silly.
It's hefty. And you also had some trouble with a friend yesterday. Maybe not a fine, but
Yeah, I could potentially put my hand up and say I almost deserve a fine for this because if anyone was on looking, they would go, oh my God, is that lady okay? Like, she's lost the plot. I'll tell you the story in short. So I was at work yesterday. One of my work colleagues, Kira, she left the office to go to an appointment. 2 minutes later, she calls me, Lil, urgent, need your help right now. Run out of petrol. I've broken down the middle of Albert Road, busy road, 4-lane sort of main street. She said, you need to go quickly. So I was like, yep, on it. I was like in mission mode.
On
like,
mission,
you know,
yeah.
got to fix this. So I went to the BP on Kingsway, got a jerry can, but last time I'd run out of petrol before and I got like a bit of more of a water can kind of thing. This was like a silver tin. Anyway, I didn't think it was going to work. I asked the lady behind the desk and said, is this going to work for a car? She said, yep, it's going to work. Anyway, I get to my friend with the jerry can of petrol in 9 minutes. Pretty quick. So
Good
she
time, yeah.
hasn't been broken down for long. Anyway, then we go to put the petrol in the car and we're tipping it in and we're both dressed like in work clothes, like looking quite nice in the middle of the road. She's got a little smart car, funnily enough, so like those tiny little shoe boxes. So it was just a funny scene. Putting the petrol in, petrol starts gushing back at us, like it's not going in, like the hole isn't open. So we're like, what do we do here? So I'm like, get a stick. So I'm like running, playing Frogger in and out of the cars. I get a stick. She's holding the stick to hold like the little like flap open. I'm tipping the petrol in. The petrol is then still coming half back at us, half in the car. We're like, it's a little smart car. Like, surely there's enough petrol in this car. Like, it'll be fine with that. The stick snaps. Half the stick goes into a petrol tank. No. We're like, literally nothing more could go wrong at this point. Like, this is a joke. She's like, that is definitely tomorrow's issue. Like, I'm running late for this appointment. There's a stick in my petrol tank, but play on. Like, that can wait till tomorrow. So I'm like, we've got petrol all over ourselves. This is a nightmare, but whatever. So we're like, Kira, on your way. Good luck with your car. Let's hope you get to the petrol station. She gets in her car fully stressed that she's like, just got to get to the petrol station, just like eyes on the road. Yeah. I get in my car. With that, I notice that my phone is on her roof. Oh. So my phone is sitting on her roof. She drives off. I'm like, oh my God, if my phone falls off here, it's going to get run over by ongoing traffic. Like 4 lanes of cars here are driving. And we're like, oh my goodness. I, for some reason, think it's easier to run than it is drive. So I get back out of my car, hazards back on, flick my shoes onto the nature strip. And then sprinting.
Pinky's out.
Pinky's out. Sprinting down the road thinking I'm a car. There's a car driving behind me like I'm just like in the traffic as a normal motor vehicle on the road. I'm like, if I step on any like glass or anything, like the club are going to be like, there's something wrong with you, you can't train now because you've split your foot open. But I was like, no, I've got to get my phone, got my hands swinging up and down around going, Kira, stop. And it's like slowly just slipping back off the thing. Anyway, she stopped at some lights. I reckon it was about a 200-metre sprint, quickest sprint I've ever done in barefoot and in nice clothes running down the street with the car. So I got my phone and thankfully here to tell the story. Here to tell the story. Yeah, so if anyone saw me running like that, they would say, yeah, that's a fine.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I hope someone listening actually did see you. That would be great.
Yeah, call in if you saw me.
We'll get you on the podcast next week. Just before we wrap things up, we did touch on the name. It is Lil and Ben. It's hard naming a podcast. There's a lot of puns going around, a lot of footy stuff, but we thought we'd take a bit of inspiration from an old classic ABC Kids television show from the early 2000s. McNamara over here might be a bit young for that one, but Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men. Were you a fan of that one, Lil?
I was a fan, yep. My uncle's name is Bill and then he has a son called Ben, so I always loved the Bill and Ben because it was him and his son, and I just sort of really connected with that. But now it's Lil and Ben, so
they must be so proud to have a podcast
named after them. Yeah. We'll have to get them in, really.
That would be good to chat. So, did you ever see that, or?
I think I did see it. Yeah, every now and then.
And Ben the Flower Pot.
Oh, lovely.
All right, I think that'll do us. That's it for episode 1 of Lil and Ben. I mentioned earlier we'll be dropping a keyword, and if you've got all the keywords throughout the whole season, then you can win a signed team jumper. Today's keyword has to be flower pot. So I think that sums it all up. Lil and Ben, the flower pot men.
Wait, did you just drop it then?
Yeah,
Like
it's
that?
flower pot.
Oh, but you told everyone.
Yeah, well, they need to know it.
Oh, okay.
If they don't know the word, then they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So if you got your phone handy, the listeners, maybe write down episode 1 is flower pot and win yourself a signed Guernsey at the end of the season. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to chat with us, Eliza. It was
Thanks
good
for having
fun.
me, Ben and Lil.
You're welcome,
Good
Lizzie.
luck with the rest of the season with the podcast.
You too.